first. First, I learned living next to Rocky Flats. I had the health department told some folks the other day that I didn't live next to Rocky Flats. Judy, can you believe that? No. I didn't live. And so they were trying to clean up the Cotter Corporation, and some citizens mentioned my name, and they said, oh, she never lived there. She lives in Littleton. You can believe me. If my boys are here, they're here somewhere. There you guys are. We live next to Rocky Flats. Boy, did we learn a lot. One thing we learned, and I have to read this. Plop a frog into hot water, and he will immediately jump out. But if the temperature is raised gradually, he will sit there until he boils to death. So it is with environmental radioactivity. We are worse off than the poor frog because we have no direct way of sensing the hot water that we're in. And I certainly thank the Rocky Mountain Peace and Justice Center they probably don't know, it was years ago. They gave this to me, and boy, did we start thinking in our community about Rocky Flats. But here today, thank goodness I learned about a lot from Rocky Flats, and, well, it took me to Pueblo, Colorado. A nuclear power plant got prevented from being built in Pueblo. That was a great victory for the community, and it was a great victory for Colorado. But you know, you need to ask yourselves, how was a community like that, how are they enticed to even think about nuclear power? It was a nuclear sales lawyer. I learned his approach was nothing new. This process was used 30 years ago. Anybody have this book called No Nukes? 30 years ago, this thing was written. It's unbelievable. It's the blueprint on how 104 nuclear power plants got approved in the United States. We go into it, we delve into it, you find out, wow, it's happening in Pueblo. 104 nukes already happened, and it was about to happen in Pueblo. Thank goodness for these people that wrote this book, because we learned, gosh, you better look at the zoning. There could be manipulation going on. Gosh, you better take a look at that slideshow this slick nuclear lawyer is presenting. It's misrepresentation. It's all in here, folks. It's just amazing. But here we are, just a repeat of history, and nothing isn't changed. That's pretty scary. And so we took a quick look, Sierra Club members, and we gathered a team together, and we looked at the newspaper in Pueblo. Those community folks had no idea what was coming. The newspaper promoted nuclear power. Wow, isn't that just a shame? How was it that they were promoting nuclear power and the community had no questions? So what'd we do? Well, we went in there, Sierra Club, a few friends to help them, and boy, we told them, all you gotta do is start asking some questions. Guess what? You can read the government's own information, and it's gonna tell you radiation's not safe, that the doses are based on the white Caucasian male. Women are not included in safe doses. That's kind of scary. It's been that way for years. No dose is safe. Women and children and the elderly. Well, now wait a minute. How could that be? That can't be happening. Well, the sad piece is this slick lawyer told this community, forget Chernobyl. What? Forget Chernobyl? He told them nobody was injured and nobody died. Forget 3 Mile Island. Nobody was injured, nobody died. Forget Fukushima. He said, all right, you know, life has risks, and we have to learn to live with risks and change these risks. Right. No one was injured. You know, the good news today is that we did stop it. But the bad news is we are not. We are not going to believe. Chernobyl, nobody died. Yes, they did. 3 Mile Island, people were injured. And Fukushima, we can see it happening now. Unfortunately for us, Fukushima happened, and you know, it was a mind-opening experience for the Pueblo community. They did start asking questions. They did start reading it, and so did the officials. They started reading it going, spent fuel? Can you believe that this nuclear sales guy told them, spent fuel is not hazardous waste? Right, it's not hazardous, but you know, it's high-level waste. It is, they learned it was dangerous. You know, that's an interesting word. It was just phenomenal to hear all this happening. You know, the sad piece is that there are alternatives. Did you know that book tells us there's solar power, there's wind power, there are alternatives. Well, what happened in our country? Why aren't we using the alternatives? Could it be because our country is based on priorities that are profit and power? Well, we can thank Pueblo, and please thank those county commissioners. Did you know that that nuclear sales guy told them, you're going to get rich if we have nuclear power? They formatted the contract just like Xcel Energy and was going to work it just to make themselves rich. Why not? If I didn't know anything about nuclear power, I want to get rich too. Well, we had to tell them the truth. Why would they think the government would do anything to harm them? Isn't that what we're told? You don't question the government. They're on your side. They're going to help you. Well, I say right now we need an immediate moratorium on nuclear construction and a phase out of those existing nuclear power plants and capacity. You know, this dear group back east, it's just phenomenal. They said, no nukes, no coal, no kidding. Thank you, guys.